Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Chat. We have two Canadian blended whiskeys, both at 80 proof. The first one is Gibson's Finest Rare, and it is rare in Louisiana because I've only seen it at one place. Well, my friend David had a bottle. He got it at Elio's once, and I've seen this I saw this at Savannah Discount, and this big glass handle bottle, 1,750 milliliters. With a wooden stopper and a true cork. This is not glued together particle cork. It's a true hunk of cork. This bottle was $9.99. So I had to buy it. I didn't know anything about Gibson's Finest Rare, but it's the kind of deal you absolutely cannot pass up. Come to find out, this runs for about $65 in Canada, about 55 or 60 here, 55. I got it for $9.99. Age 12 years. Don't know when it hit the market. There's sort of shadowy. Some people say 1972, but we don't know. This is the newer label. The William Grant and Sons link that I put below is showing the older label. Canadian whiskey, rare. There's a shield with the maple leaf on it and two deer holding it up. Two type of deer. Whiskey made the honored way, aged for smoothness and richer taste. Whiskey. Okay. This is now owned by William Grant and Sons, and they have a web page for it. Not a website, but the web page on their website. At least they got something about it. There's also the Sterling, which is high rye, extra high rye version. There is the whoops, I forgot to pour it. There's the 18-year age, which I'm sure is very even rarer because I've never seen it. Gibson's 18-year age. All right. Got a lot left, half the bottle left. Poured too much. Let's see something. Good. Couldn't believe I made it. Made it. Didn't go spilling everywhere. All right, that's more reasonable. Good. Go back in there. The competitor, 40 Creek Premium Barrel Select. Company founded 1992, 40 Creek, but their first whiskey sold in the year 2000. This is a no age statement. It is produced now by Campari Canada. So it's a Campari brand. This bottle is very drippy for some reason. $19.49 at your local store, $19.49 or around that. But I paid $9 at Walmart, believe it or not. So I got this for $9, and I got the Gibson's handle for $9.99. So I paid $18.99 for both of these. Crazy, right? But true. Let me rinse my hands. Crazy, but true. when I consider what I paid, I almost can't believe it. It's almost too good to be true, really. Now, this is going to count for a future date, this taste challenge. So we've been knocking out future days when I know it's going to be problematic to do it or impossible to do it. So let's put it, check it off in the date book there. Got it done. So how many do we have left after today until Lent when we go on hiatus? After today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's when we'll do Jameson versus Patty's. Jameson versus Patty. Jameson versus Tullamore DEW. Jameson versus Teelings, small batch. Jameson versus Bushmills, original Bushmills, Black Bush, Bushmills, Red Bush, and then that's it. Dr. Frosty Brew. Cheers, Ron. Cheers to you. Thanks for watching. Well, we can see a big difference in appearance. I didn't need tags on this one. This is light gold. Do they add color? It's even like straw more than gold. It was in a barrel 12 years, and it's still this very light. Look how light. After 12 long years, I think they didn't add coloring. It's just so pale. Looks pretty. This one, no age statement, and it is dark, but they do talk about on the website that they use, some of the barrels are very deep charred oak, heavily charred oak. So it could get that, it could get that dark, even if it's only like, say, 8 years, 6 to 8 years, whatever. But we don't know. No one knows. People will say, oh, I think it's about, and I heard someone say, and it's been said, but we don't have any definitive age statement, so we're not going to try to assign one. It's like Gibson's finest rare. I heard it said, I read somewhere that it said 1972 that it hit the market. But his source, from the article I read, to me, his source was weak. So I don't give an introductory date for Gibson's finest rare. It's a strange thing. I know it seems like it was started by an American in Detroit. Then when Prohibition started, he jumped across the border into Canada and started making a Canadian whiskey because of the Prohibition problem. And then after that ended, he came back to the United States. But then something like it, I don't know, something happened with the company, and then it got bought out by William Grant and Sons. But regardless of the strange history, it is a popular product in Canada, at least. And it's around, you see. So 40 Creek seems to be doing pretty well. Although Walmart did have it on closeout for $9. So must have not been selling too well. But I think they wanted to go just to the handle bottles, the big glass bottles. So it might have just been that they noticed that the handles were doing better, or they needed more shelf space or something. I don't know. But anyway, I took advantage of it. Just like when they sold the Sombra Mezcal, $32 bottle, they had it for $15. Yeah, of course I bought it. Just like when they had the Hornitos Black Barrel Tequila, $27.98, but they were selling it for $13. Of course I bought it. You think there's any bottles left? Guess what? There's not. Of course there's not going to be. There's no Sombra left for $15. Now they still have a lot of stuff on closeout over there. Oh yes, quite a bit. But I didn't need. I mean, I said I can't buy all this stuff. What I'm going to do? Just buy liquor all the time? So I said, cool it. You know, get the Hornitos. That's a great deal, and let's forget the rest. Because my experience, they'll do it again. I didn't know they were going to get rid of Duhan's. Oh, that's right. That's another Irish whiskey I got a taste challenge. Duhan's. Golly. So we'll go till April 18th. Okay. With that Lenten gap. I got to find the Duhan's. I don't remember where I put it. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in that cabinet. This smells like corn, grits, and maybe some wood and not a lot else. So does it have a bourbon smell? Well, yes, in the corn sense of it. No, not in the charred oak sense of it. So I don't think anybody would smell that and get the impression that it was a bourbon. I don't believe, no. Because, you know, bourbon's got to have that charred oak. And that makes the difference, that fresh charred oak. Bourbon has to be aged in fresh barrels. So Canadian whiskey can be aged in barrels that are 50 years old. Doesn't matter. So it's going to make a difference. Now, are they allowed to use new barrels, fresh barrels? Well, of course they're allowed to use new barrels. There's no law against it. There's no regulation against it. It's just the practice is to use what they call seasoned barrels. Sounds better than saying used barrels, right? Just like pre-owned vehicle, a pre-owned car. Sounds better than a used car. Light beer. Coors Light beer sounds better than thin beer, right? Coors thin beer. Coors watered down beer. That's not going to sell. Or as they originally called them in 1967, diet beer. That went over like nothing. Diet beer. Showing a lady in a leotards doing a workout. Oh, I mean, a few people bought it. Lite. Meisterbrow Lite. Or Lite from Meisterbrow, sorry, Light from Meisterbrow. Just like later on, it came out, it was Light by Miller. Light by Miller. Then it got rebranded as Miller Light. But originally it was called Light by Miller. Okay. I can smell the creme brulee and the burnt sugar, burnt marshmallow over the roasted fire. This is the 40 Creek. I'm telling you right now, this is the 40 Creek. I'm calling it right now. And it is. Ha ha. Oh, hee hee ha ha. Ronnie S. Hello there. Hello, Ronnie S. You could have brought a wine last night if it was a dessert wine, because like in New York State, they consider that a liquor, although it clearly isn't. But they have it's spiked with liquor, so that's why they call it that. Last night I did the chila cinnamon horchata. That was dynamite. Cream, rum cream. I never had a rum cream, so that was a winner. And then James P. Madonna brought the Saint Germain. He thought it was nice, but he didn't consider it a winner. Good, but not great. Panthers rule. Yo to you. So the taste challenge is off. It's not a taste challenge because I smell challenged it and got it right. Now we'll just taste it just to be tasting it. I already know which is which, you see. I know y'all get tired of always seeing me in here. I don't get tired of seeing any viewer. Well, some viewers. All right. No, I don't get tired of seeing you. Sweet corn, rye, peppery. Well, I wonder what that Sterling tastes like. If that's super jacked up rye, this is pretty strong rye. It's got mentholated gum, peppermint. Ooh. Maybe that's why I didn't like this product before. And there's a harsh wood, not a harsh, but a noticeable wood barrel. You know what? I think what was throwing me off of Gibson's all along, getting me discombobulated, castigated, infilated, and stereotyped, and deflated. It was deflated. Was that it's a much higher rye Canadian whiskey than your average Canadian whiskey, so it was freaking me out, and it was throwing me off. Is what it was really doing. It was confusing me. So, is it better than I was originally evaluating it? Well, actually, my original evaluation with the solo review was very high. Then I put it into taste challenges and it collapsed. But now I'm starting to think, oh, it wasn't the whiskey, it was you. Okay. This one here is got rye. You can pick up that mentholated thing, but it's much lower than that, right? Half. But this one got the creme brulee. I say creme brulee, or other people say burnt marshmallow from roasting over a fire, or some people say black walnut, which I don't recall ever having a black walnut. Uh, I tried to check my total wine for the 40 Creek, and I have to go to Miami to get it. Well, because of the scamdemic, a lot of things are out of stock, but it should come back eventually because that's kind of dying out. It's kind of dying away. Like they made their point. Like we can control you, and you'll go along with it. So that was the whole exercise. We can create a fear psychosis. We can create a fear psychosis in collaboration with the medical community and the major media, the controlled media, and you'll you'll comply with it, and now we'll let you have some of your freedom back, you plebeians, proletarians. So you say, well, what about this new warmongering? Well, that could affect it. You see, that's a different operation, or that's a different operation. All right. Operation warfare. That's a different one. Now in Canada, it came across a lot heavier. Got the heavy hand of the left, but they're always heavy-handed, but they got this Pompadour, he's out there like Joseph Stalin, You say, not that bad. Not that bad yet. You get away with what you can get away with. You take little pieces of cake before you take the whole cake, But look at California with their iron-fisted Che Guevara, Fidel Castro type of authoritarianism. But they were like that before the scandemic. It's just it gave them more of an excuse to do it. But anyway, like Spanky would say, anyhow. Which one of these tastes better? All right. Got a lot of sweet corn in that. Oh, wow. Wow. Price-wise, they're about the same. So, and in fact, I think 40 Creek is cheaper. So, price-wise, you're going to do better with 40 Creek. Now, flavor-wise, Gibson's is more traditional. Good morning, my brother. This is Dallas Cowboys. But the vehicle prices, oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah. I was glad I got my vehicle right at the right point. Right when things were starting to break back in September. But it was right before the oil prices really spiked. So everybody still wanted to get the Nissan big ones, the big Nissans, So they weren't gonna make a deal on that. But the used cars were already starting to become a thing. So that Ram truck that I had, that big Ram truck, the work truck with a lot of options, they were like keen to get that. I could see the dealership was like, that thing listed 31,500 new, and it was in good shape. So they knew they could flip it and get 26, 5, 27, even though it was 3 years old, but it only had 18,000 miles on it. And so they had the Nissan Versa, a nice little car. It's little, but it's nice, in a 4-door. And I thought, So they had it for $18,050. That was it, $18,050. plus tax, title, and license naturally. So we traded, and they end up having to pay me $2,500, $2,600 as it turns out, because they overcharged me on the tax. So I end up trading it and getting a brand new car and $2,600 to pocket, and then the gas prices went to the roof, and this little car here gets 35.5 everywhere. Been running 35.5 miles per gallon. 33 when I fill it up, because a lot of city driving. But boy, I'll tell you what, that truck was actually that Ram truck got surprisingly good gas mileage, But I mean, 22 miles to the gallon is a lot different than 33. Okay, you got that a Titan? No, I didn't have a Titan. I wouldn't get a Nissan Titan. Wow, don't know if we will see times like that again. No. My grandfather swore on Toyotas and Nissans. My mother's sister had a Toyota truck, a 1985 Toyota truck with the 4-speed, those are the things that were so easy to drive, those old Toyota trucks with the shifter. Easiest thing I ever shifted in my life. With that long stick shift, I used to love driving those, so smooth. She had over 300,000 miles on it. That truck would do anything but brake, but she finally traded in because it was getting so worn out. But boy, that thing was just unbelievable. And she didn't pay a lot for that. No, that red Toyota truck. So if you like a traditional but higher ride than you would expect, perhaps Canadian whiskey, and that's what was throwing me off, and I apologize, y'all. I said some bad things about Gibsons, but I've seen Tacomas go over 500,000 miles on them. Incredible. Hers was still running. She just wanted to get something better. Newer. If you want a traditional and very good, and I apologize once again, get Gibson traditional. Now, if you want a little bit unusual, a non-traditional Canadian whiskey with rather strange flavors such as creme brulee or burnt marshmallow or black walnut and a very dark appearance, then get the 40 Creek. Either way it goes, you're not getting a bad product. So I feel bad about saying those negative things about Gibson, but I was confused, and I'll always be the first to admit it if I made a mistake. I'm not being all prideful on here talking about, oh no, I can't make a mistake. No, I can, and I do. But now we put in Canadian whiskey to rest for a long time, and we're going on to Irish whiskey starting Tuesday morning. Jameson, the world classic Jameson versus all the other ones I have. So get ready for those. Now it's time to go watch the news. Take care, everybody. I don't think I could get the Gibsons either. Well, probably not, but it might show up in your area one day. Who knows? All right, thanks, everybody.